Japan's birth began with a mistake, and ended with a descent into hell. A mistake so profound, it forever separated life from death. Tonight, you will discover the primal story of Japan's creation, how the islands themselves were forged from chaos, the forbidden words that shattered a divine love, and why death became an inescapable part of human existence. Imagine standing on the swirling, unformed waters of a nascent world, the only sound the gentle drip of a jeweled spear. The air is thick with anticipation, heavy with the scent of brine and something ancient, something divine. You are witnessing the very first moments of a nation, born not from a single, omnipotent decree, but from the combined will and, crucially, the tragic error of two powerful deities. This isn't just a story, it's the bedrock of Japan, a tale of creation and loss that echoes through every mountain, every river, and every life lived on these islands. But how could two perfect, primordial beings make such a fundamental mistake? To understand this epic, we must journey to a time, before even the first human walked the earth. This is the realm of the kami, the divine beings or gods in Japanese mythology, whose stories are meticulously recorded in the Kojiki, Japan's oldest surviving chronicle, compiled in the early 8th century, around 712 AD. Think of the Kojiki as Japan's equivalent of the biblical book of Genesis or ancient Greek myths, but with its own unique flavor of primordial chaos and divine passion. Our tale begins with the final two of 7 generations of primordial kami, or divine beings, Izanagi no Mikoto, meaning, he who invites, and his sister wife, Izanami no Mikoto, she who invites. These two were tasked by the elder gods with a singular, monumental mission, to create a new world, a new land, out of the swirling, formless void. Their story isn't just a myth, it's the very foundation of Shinto, Japan's indigenous spiritual practice, and even links directly to the lineage of the Japanese imperial family. But how do you create an entire archipelago from nothing? The elder kami bestowed upon Izanagi and Izanami a sacred tool, the Amano Noboko, the jeweled spear of heaven. You see them, standing on the Ain no Okihashi, the floating bridge of heaven, gazing down at the formless, swirling brine below. Izanagi plunged the magnificent spear into the chaotic waters, stirring it with a sound like a distant, rumbling ocean. Think of it like stirring a thick, creamy soup until a solid lump begins to form at the bottom. As he withdrew the spear, drops of brine dripped from its tip, solidifying and coalescing to form the very first island, Onagoro, the self-formed island. It was a miracle, a small patch of solid earth in an infinite sea. But here is what nobody talks about, this first act of creation was only the beginning. To populate this new world, Izanagi and Izanami needed to unite. They descended onto Onagoro, erected a magnificent pillar, and built a grand palace. They decided to circle the pillar, Izanagi to the left and Izanami to the right, meeting at the other side to perform a sacred ritual of union. But what happened when they met changed everything. As they met around the pillar, it was Izanami, she who invites, who spoke first, exclaiming, "Oh, what a lovely youth." This might seem innocent, but in the divine order, the male god was meant to initiate. This impropriety, this inversion of the natural order, tainted their first attempts at creation. Their initial offspring were deformed and weak, like the Hirako, leech child, born without bones and cast adrift in a boat of reeds, a haunting symbol of a creation gone wrong. Distraught, the divine couple consulted the elder kami, who revealed their error. They repeated the ritual, this time with Izanagi, he who invites, speaking first, crying, "Oh, what a lovely maiden." With the proper order established, creation flowed forth gloriously. One by one, the major islands of the Japanese archipelago were born, Ohoyamato Toyoaki Tsushima, now known as Honshu, Io no Futana, or Shikoku, Tsukushi, or Kyushu, and many others, totaling 8 great islands, forming the land of Japan as we know it. After the islands, they birthed countless other kami, gods of mountains, rivers, wind, and trees, filling their new world with vibrant life. But this divine labor would demand an unimaginable sacrifice from Izanami. The ultimate price for creation came when Izanami gave birth to the fire god, Kagutsuchi. The intense heat of his birth fatally burned her. As she lay dying, even more kami were born from her tears and vomit. Overcome with grief and rage, Izanagi, he who invites, drew his great sword and slew the newborn Kagutsuchi, his sorrow so profound that even from the shattered pieces of the fire god, new deities emerged. But his longing for Izanami was unbearable. He embarked on a perilous journey to Yomi, the land of the dead, Japan's dark and cavernous underworld, determined to bring her back. He found her, shrouded in shadows, but she warned him not to look at her. In a moment of desperation, Izanagi lit a comb, revealing a horrific sight. Izanami's body was decaying, crawling with maggots. Horrified, Izanagi fled. Enraged by his betrayal, Izanami pursued him with the terrifying hags of Yomi. He barely escaped, sealing the entrance to Yomi with a massive boulder, forever separating the world of the living from the world of the dead. This tragic divorce, born of a single glance, cemented death as an inescapable part of the human condition. But what came next, after this harrowing escape from the underworld? Emerging from the pollution of Yomi, Izanagi, he who invites, performed a grand misogi, a purification ritual, cleansing himself in a river. And from this act of spiritual renewal came three of Japan's most important kami. From his left eye, the radiant sun goddess, Amaterasu Amakami, from his right eye, the moon deity, Tsukimi no Mikoto, and from his nose, the tempestuous storm god, Susanoo no Mikoto. These three became central figures in the Japanese pantheon, their stories shaping countless myths and traditions. The tale of Izanagi and Izanami is more than just an ancient legend, it's the very blueprint of Japanese identity. It explains the sacredness of the Japanese islands, the origins of the imperial family, and the profound connection between life, death, and purification that defines Shinto. Every shrine, every festival, every reverence for nature in Japan carries echoes of these two primordial creators. Their story, born from a mistake and culminating in a heartbreaking separation, teaches us that even divine acts of creation are fraught with consequence, shaping the very fabric of existence. Join us next time on Japan Storyteller as we delve into the celestial planes and the dramatic adventures of Amaterasu, the sun goddess herself. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Japan Storyteller for more incredible journeys into Japan's rich history.